I am super excited to be here on the Tuberations. Listen, many of you all have been watching my replays. Many of you all have been engaging with my YouTube, and I am so appreciative. I am so appreciative that I've decided that I'm going to start going live right here, right here, right here. Okay, I'm going to be going live right here to answer your questions and to give you guys some clarity around your nonprofit, what is a nonprofit, and how to take it to the next level. For those of you all who are new to me, my name is Jennifer. I am your nonprofit expert, over 38 years of experience. Many of you all have been watching my videos. Many of you have been leaving me amazing comments on my videos. Many of you have been so supportive. And I'm just excited to be able to come live here in this space to speak to you more directly and to be able to help you understand how to take your nonprofit organizations to the next level in this upcoming year. All right. For those of you who are just joining, I want to say thank you for joining. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please go subscribe. One of the things that I've been talking to my VIP leaders about is strategy and strategic thinking. Strategic thinking. Strategic thinking. Put strategic in the chat. Strategic. All right. When you decide that you are going to start a nonprofit business, you've got to be able to understand the strategy of the business. Okay. What is the strategy of the business? Every business has a strategy of how do I sell my product? The strategy of how do we create the product? The strategy of how do we market what we do as a business? The strategy of how do we grow our supporters or our patrons or our customers, right? That's all strategy. Strategy comes from knowledge. Strategy comes from clarity. Strategy comes from I know where we're going. Right? So when you make a decision to start your nonprofit, you are making a decision as the executive director, as the president, as the CEO, to take on the strategy of not just starting your program, but how do you strategically market what you do? How do you strategically raise the revenue to continue what you do? How do you strategically broaden your streams of revenue so that you have a diverse streams of revenue so that you can continue to do the work that you do, right? So starting your nonprofit is not the paper, right? Starting your nonprofit is not a piece of paper. It is strategy. It is strategy of who is it that would be interested in our mission? Strategy of where are the streams of revenue for our nonprofit? The strategy of how do we identify, how do we connect with, how do we make the strategic ask? What are the campaigns that we come up with within our organization? It's all strategy. Put strategy in the chat. Put strategy in the chat, right? So when you are making the decision to start your nonprofit, you are saying, Jen, I need to know the strategy. I need to know the strategy of where does money come from. Let's talk about that first, right? You as a nonprofit business, you as a nonprofit business must know where does money come from. Right? So there are what? 8 streams of revenue. If those of you guys who've been following me for a while, you often hear me talk about the streams of revenue. You often hear me talk about the streams of revenue, right? What are your streams of revenue? What are your streams of revenue? Okay. We're about to go through the 8. There are 14. There are 14. There are 14. But you have 8 streams of revenue. That means you have 8 places, spaces, opportunities to raise money for your nonprofit. You've got to know the strategy of how do I increase our streams of revenue or avenues of money. All right, or places from which money comes. The first is individuals. Individuals. Put individuals in the chat. Thank you all for coming in. Can y'all see my guide behind me? I'm going to talk about this guide because I want you all to be clear that your strategy comes with knowing what it is that you're doing. All right. Let's talk about individuals. Individuals as a stream of revenue. Who are the individuals? You have regular donors, monthly donors, major donors, annual donors, regular donors, people. Let's talk about why do people give. Let's talk about the strategy of why people give, all right? Because it's important for you to be able to utilize strategy that works to interact with your prospective donors. In the Nonprofit Startup Guide, we are in chapter 4. We're in chapter 4. Okay? So, knowing why do people give? Knowing why do people give? This is strategy. Individual donors, individual donors, individual donors is one stream of revenue. What is the strategy to getting, to connecting with, to introducing what you do to more individuals? This is what it looks like. Individuals, they give because of passion for the cause, right? They give because of their desire to make a difference. They give because of gratitude or empathy. They give because of legacy of impact. That is what motivates, that is what drives, that is what inspires donors to give to our nonprofits for something that they're not in, right? They're not in our nonprofits. So what is it? What is the strategy to attract, to engage, to inspire more people to give to what we do? We talk about passion for the cause. Well, what's the cause? The cause is the need that your organization is addressing. The cause is the solution. The cause is the result of what you do. That's the cause, right? So you are speaking the language of why is this cause important? What's at stake if we're not successful with this cause? How do we reach the people that have either an experience in the cause or connected to the cause or can see the benefit of the cause? That's strategy. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? Strategy in terms of how do I connect with, how do I introduce what we do to individuals as a stream of revenue. Who are the individuals? These are your regular donors, your monthly donors, your major donors, your annual donors. How do they become a regular donor? How do they become an annual donor? How do they become a monthly donor? They've been introduced to your cause, right? They first have to know who you are before they can give to what you do. So what's the strategy? Introduction. What do you say in that introduction? Your mission. You say your mission. You talk about the need. You explain why through your organization's work, addressing this need is important. That's what you say. That's what you lead with. Before a person, an individual, becomes a regular donor, a monthly donor, an annual donor, they first have to be introduced to what you do. How do they become aware of what you do? How are they brought into what you do? Introduction through your mission. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing what I'm saying? All right, I'm going to keep going. So introduction is one. The second is, or individuals. The second is businesses and corporations, right? Businesses and corporations, right? How do they become a sponsor? How do they become a place and a space where they want to invest in your nonprofit? Introduction again, right? So what is it that causes corporations to give? Corporations give because you are a part of their corporate cause or their place of corporate responsibility, right? Many businesses engage in philanthropy as a part of their corporate social responsibility. Corporate philanthropy allows companies to demonstrate their commitment to local and social causes, enhance their brand recognition, and build positive relationships with Stakeholders. Also, what motivates them to give to our nonprofits? Community engagement. Corporations support nonprofits in communities where they operate as a way to give back and strengthen community ties. By investing in local nonprofits, businesses can help address community needs, improve quality of life, and foster economic development. All right. So those are ways. And then the third thing is employee engagement. Corporate philanthropy programs often include opportunities for employee volunteerism, fundraising events, and matching gift opportunities. Engaging employees in philanthropic activities can boost morale, enhance teamwork, and promote a sense of purpose, fulfillment among staff members. What does that say? That says by connecting with corporations, they're interested in employee giving opportunities. They're interested in corporate causes. I'm going to give you some examples, like Home Depot. Home Depot gives to a corporate cause, such as they give to homeless veterans. That's their corporate cause, right? So they are interested in the cause of homelessness and they are interested in the cause of veterans. So what do? You look for those corporations and those businesses who have a response or a sense of public responsibility in an area that is of interest to them, right? Those companies, such as Walmart or Target, their area of interest is education. Their areas of interest might be, Coca-Cola. Their areas of interest might be women or children or businesses, right? So as a stream of revenue, you are looking for the businesses or the corporations whereby your business or your nonprofit falls within their corporate responsibility. So that's how you introduce your organization. That's how you approach them. That is how you get the in, right? You speak about, you talk about, you support what they are interested in. I'm making sense, all right? So as a stream of revenue, you have individuals and you have corporations. The third is events, okay? Events or fundraisers are those opportunities whereby you get an opportunity to introduce, to inspire, to show, to engage those that attended the fundraiser, right? And you have an opportunity now to share with them how and through their support after the fundraiser, that ongoing support is beneficial, right? So you have 8 streams of revenue, 8 streams of revenue, 8 streams of revenue as a nonprofit, 8 streams of revenue, individuals, corporations, and the events, okay? What makes the events successful? What makes the events profitable in terms of raising the funds? That's the goal. The people that attend. Who are the people that attend? Right? The people who have the capacity, the people who have the interest, the people who understand the importance of the work, the people who are connected or concerned or there to find out about the work. After that event, you have a plan and a strategy to continue to reach, to communicate, to articulate with this group so that they move over here to individuals. All right. So that's 3 streams of revenue of 8. The next is in kind. And then you have grants. Grants are great. Grants are not and cannot fund 100% of your program expenses. All right. So grants are going to fund about 27% of your nonprofit expenses while you're waiting on the grant, right? While you're waiting on the grant funds. The grant funder may take 2 months, 4 months, 6 months more to make a decision. Why? Because there are more organizations seeking grant dollars than there are those giving grant dollars. There are more nonprofit organizations seeking grant dollars than there are those giving grant dollars, than the funders that are giving grant dollars, right? So they may receive hundreds, if not thousands, of proposals. There are more nonprofits seeking grant dollars. There are those funders giving grant dollars, okay? So what do? While you are waiting for the grant funder to make the decision, you have 7 other streams of revenue. You're not waiting for the money. You have other streams of revenue. Put streams in the chat. 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 You have other streams of revenue so that you have the ability, you have the capacity for ongoing program support. Ongoing, 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 right? That's 5. Program fees, products and services, and partnerships and collaborations. So money is not the problem. Money is not the problem, okay? What you want to be capable of is making the introduction to these streams of revenue, right? How do you make those introductions? Put how in the chat. 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 How do we make introductions? How do we make introductions? How do we make introductions? We make introductions through our mission. We introduce what we do and why what we do is important. At the root of how we raise money, at the root of how our businesses, how our nonprofits raise money, at the root, at the foundation of how we raise money as a nonprofit, it's in how clear and concise your mission is. Why is your mission so important? Your mission is what states, clarifies, describes to the donor and the funder why your work is important, where their money is going, how through their donation, through their investment, your business is going to make a difference in the community. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? All right. It is important, it is imperative that you as a nonprofit leader, as the president, as the CEO, as the executive director, you know how to make the introduction. That you have the ability to articulate strategically, that you have the ability to strategically introduce your nonprofit to individuals, that you have the ability, the capacity to introduce your nonprofit to corporations, that you have the capacity strategically to speak to those that are attending those events, not just the people that know you, but how you strategically are meeting, engaging those that don't know you at the event. They may have been invited by someone. They may have been brought by someone. But through your what? Introduction, through your clarification, through your showing, through your sharing about the importance of your work, those that attend that event are more inclined to give after the event. That's why the event and the fundraiser is a stream of revenue, right? Ongoing revenue. Your business, which is the nonprofit, your nonprofit is not a piece of paper. Your nonprofit is a business. For those of you that have been following me for a while, right? You guys hear me talk about this all the time. You hear me talk about how your nonprofit is a business, how your nonprofit has a valuable product, how your nonprofit is an asset to your community, that we do the work that government cannot do. We do the work that for-profit businesses cannot do in our community, right? And so as the executive director, as the CEO, as the president of your business, you've got to be able to show and share your product. What is your product? Mission accomplished. That's how we raise money, showing our product. What's our product? Mission accomplished. Being able to articulate it. How do we articulate it? What do we say? We say our mission. This is what it sounds like. For those of you that don't have the Nonprofit Startup Guide, I invite you to get it because it talks to you about what do I say? How do I say it? This is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like. Your mission is what clarifies, describes. It is what educates those that don't know what you do. It shares with them why what you do is important, right? What is a mission? The mission of your nonprofit organization is your core purpose or reason for existence. Why do we exist? We exist to solve problems. We exist to meet need. We exist for result. All right. The mission defines what the organization does, whom it serves, and the impact it seeks to achieve. That's why our mission is important. As a tool of introduction, as a system of clarity, it shows, it connects with, it inspires, it clarifies, it builds confidence of those that would and could be giving to our work. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? All right, here we go. This is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like when you were out meeting with, when you were out introducing your nonprofit to those that don't know what you do or have not yet been introduced to what you do. This is what it sounds like. Hello, my name is. I'm the executive director of the mission of our organization. Our mission is to address the unique needs of homeless veterans. And we do this by offering shelter, counseling, job training, and access to essential services. Through our comprehensive approach, we help veterans transition from homelessness to stable, independent living. What is our business? Our business is to help veterans transition from homelessness to stable, independent living. That's our business. Our not-for-profit business, the purpose of our work is that result. Put result in the chat. The purpose of our work is for that result. We are in the business of result. We're not in the business of activity. What's activity? Sheltering. That's activity. Job development, job training. That's activity. Right? Life skills development. That's activity. That at the end of those activities, this is the result. Those that have come through our program will look like this. They will have achieved this. They will reflect mission accomplished. Am I making sense of what I'm saying? They will reflect mission accomplished. All right? We are in the business of mission accomplishment. That's our business. We're not in the business of passion. We're not in the business of a piece of paper. As a not-for-profit business, we are in the business of community result. We are in the business of community result. The people that are in our programs are not our donors, are not our funders, are not our contributors, are not our supporters. So we've got to be able to show, to share, to articulate, to clarify to our donors, our funders, our supporters, our contributors, why our business matters to them. Because they are donating, they are contributing, they are giving, but they're not in our program. They're not receiving the direct benefit of our program. So what is it about what we do that would inspire, incline, motivate, engage them to give to what we do? It's our result. They are connected to, they are concerned about, they are interested in the result. That's where my money is going. Their money is going to the result of your work, not the passion for your work, not the activities of your work, but the result of your work. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. As a nonprofit business, right? There are two categories of business, two categories of business, two categories of business. Our business is to do the work that government cannot do. Our business is to do the work that for-profit businesses cannot do, right? We are in the business of result. We are in the business of result. We are in the business of result. We bring solution. We bring transformation. We bring clarity to our community. That's the work that we do. And our donors, our funders, our supporters, our contributors, they give to that. result. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? All right. Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Okay. Here we go. Here we go. When you are putting together your business, you are laying the foundation of what is our mission? Why is our mission important? Right? You are laying the foundation of who are our ideal donors, our supporters, our contributors. Without these things, you stood up program. You stood up program, but don't have funding. You've stood up program, but are supporting everything out of your own pocket. You've stood up program without knowing how to reach, how to connect with, how to inspire, how to motivate, how to invite and engage others who can give to what you do, right? Why? Because we didn't lay the foundation, our mission, the need that we are addressing, being able to articulate why this work matters. Why is that so important? Because that is what introduces, that is what connects with, that is what inspires those that are not in what you do to give to what you do. What is the problem that we're solving? How are we solving it? What does it look like when we're successful at that? That is what clarifies. That is what introduces. That is what engages. That is what motivates. That is what educates those that would give to what you do to be inclined to give. They're not giving to you because you got a piece of paper. Your nonprofit is not a piece of paper. Your nonprofit does not begin with a piece of paper. It begins with, what is our value? Why do we exist? What is it that we do that is essential and important to the community? That's where we begin. We begin by being able to say, this is the need that we meet. This is how we meet the need. This is how we ensure that the need is met. Why is that important? Because that's the conversation. That's the introduction. That's the clarification to the people who are not in what we do. That's what's going to incline, inspire, motivate them to give to what we do. But you've got to be able to articulate that. Again, our nonprofits are not a piece of paper. We're a business. We are a business for impact. We are a business for result. We are a business that is able to clarify our importance in the community. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? All right. I want you all to know that money is not a problem for your nonprofit business. There are two categories of business: for profit, nonprofit. Two categories of business: for profit, nonprofit. Two categories of business. Your business, your business is result. We are in the business of mission accomplished. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you so very much for liking this live. It is important to me, as your nonprofit expert, over 38 years of experience, helping organizations put together plans and strategies, systems and tools, so that you know not only how to start your program, but that you understand the clarity that is needed to grow financially your business. We're not talking about profit. We're talking about generating the revenue that is going to help your business, your impact, your program success, your mission to be accomplished, that takes resources. Where do those resources come from? You have 8 streams of revenue. You have other places and spaces to diversify your funding stream. How do we get those streams of revenue? We get those streams of revenue by sharing and showing our value, our mission, why our mission matters, what need are we addressing, and inviting, inspiring, engaging, educating those that are not in what we do to see the importance of what we do. We're not convincing. We're not, we're not twisting arms. We're not begging. We are bringing to the table solution. We are coming into the room with clarity about why our work matters and about the need that we are addressing. We are entering into the space clear about the problem and how our organization is the solution. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Okay? Am I making sense? This is my first time over here on YouTube. I'm not sure how to get to the comments. I don't know if there are any, but I just want you all to know that it is my heart, it is my effort to share with you my 38 years of experience. I am a professional fundraiser. I am a grant writer. I am a nonprofit strategist and coach. For those of you that have been following me for a while, I want you to know that money and the resources needed for our organizations to operate is not hard. It's not hard. I want to assure you that you're not begging, you're giving. You're sharing with your donors and your funder what it costs to do the work, right? In this example that's in my nonprofit startup guide, it says, we help individuals transition from homelessness to stable, independent living. So coming through our program where we're providing shelter, where we're providing job training, where we're providing life skills development, the cost per person is this. With your support and through your donations and contributions, we'll be able to serve more people and even have a greater impact on the need. So we're not begging for money. We're letting the donors, the funders, the prospective supporters know what it costs for us to be successful in our work. That means you have a budget. That means you're clear about what it costs to do the work. That means you know where money comes from. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Money is not your problem. All right? Money is not your problem. But being able to show and to share what their money will accomplish. That's the return on investment. What their money will accomplish. In this case, that's in the nonprofit startup guide, it will accomplish the number of people who are no longer homeless to be living independently. That's what it accomplished. Your money helped us to accomplish this impact. Okay? So knowing the difference between impact and activity, knowing the difference between impact and activity, knowing the difference between impact and activity, your donors and your funders fund impact. All right? Listen, I'm going to be back tomorrow. I wanted to come here as a practice. I want to come live here on the Tuberations to share with you more insight, more clarity, more understanding of what it is, not just to start your nonprofit, but knowing how to fund it, right? I am a grant writer. I am a professional fundraiser. I am a nonprofit expert in terms of helping people and individuals really understand the business of the nonprofit, not the passion of the nonprofit, but the business of the nonprofit and how you can get salaries, right? How do you get paid for doing this work? How do you have the money and the funds to do all the things that are needed for the materials, for the supplies, for the equipment, and ensuring that you have the ongoing cash flow to cover the ongoing expenses? How do you do that? Communicating your mission. Okay, communicating your mission. Are there any questions? 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 No? All right. Listen, I've been on here now 35 minutes. I just want to say to you this. Our nonprofit business is so important. And what is as important is you as the CEO, as the executive director, as the founder, as the person who is overseeing or running or strategically planning for the success of the business. It's important for you to know the business. It's important for you to know not just what you started, but how to fund it. Where does money come from? You have 8 streams of revenue. Actually, you have 15 or 14, but you have 8 streams of revenue at your disposal. You have individuals. These are regular donors, monthly donors, annual donors, major donors. You have businesses and corporations. You have events. You have in kind. You have grants. You have program fees, products and services, and partnerships and collaborations. You have multiple streams of revenue. Okay? So, having the plan, having the system, having the knowledge, having the strategy on how to generate the money is what's going to give you the money. Okay? Money is a fruit. At the root of why there is no funding for your nonprofit. Jen, I started my nonprofit and I didn't have a strategy to raise any money. Jen, I started my nonprofit and I didn't know how to raise any money. Jen, I started my nonprofit and I didn't make generating revenue my priority. As a result of these 3 things, there is no revenue or money for your organization to operate, which results in what? You funding everything out of your own pocket. What does that result in? That results in scarcity of revenue and resources within your business. What does that mean? That means you can't grow your program. That means you can't expand your program. That's what that means. That means there's not enough money to hire staff or to bring on help. That means you're likely having to do everything yourself. And that's limiting and not sustainable, right? So it is important that you know what it takes and what is required to raise money for your nonprofit. How do you begin? What is the first thing that you do? Is you're clear about the problem that you're solving. And you know how your mission describes and articulates how you solve that problem. That's what your mission is, that you know how to solve the problem. This is the purpose of your existence. With these 2 things, you can make introduction, you can clarify, you can educate, you can connect with your donors and your funders. You can acquire interest by talking about we're in the business of solution. We're in the business of addressing need. That's the foundation of our organizations. We address need. We solve problem. So your ability to introduce this is the problem that our organization is purposed to address. And this is what it looks like when we're successful. And the only way that we can be successful is through the support and the contributions of our community. As a community-based organization, it is our endeavor to bring clear and strategic and impactful solution to our community. And we do this by serving this particular population. At the end of our program, the individuals who came into our program with this problem are now leaving without that problem. You're supporting success. They're supporting success. All right? I hope I'm being clear. I hope I'm being clear. I don't know how to get to these comments, honey. I don't know how to get to the comments. So I don't know if y'all are saying anything or not. But I want to say thank you. Thank you for those of you that stopped by. Thank you for those of you that liked. Thank you for those of you that have been following this channel for a while. Thank you so very much. I promise to start coming here on this page more regularly. I want to engage with you. I want to speak with you. I want to help you. If you have any questions about your nonprofit, if you have any questions about how to do certain things or getting information about your nonprofit, put it in the comments and I'll be happy to come back and answer your questions for you. I am an expert and I've been doing this work for 38 years. I am a professional fundraiser. I am a grant writer. I am a nonprofit strategist. Again, for those of you that have been following me for a while on some of my other platforms and pages, thank you. For those of you that are new to me and this is your first introduction to who I am, my name again is Jennifer. I am a nonprofit expert. What makes me the expert is that I've worked in this nonprofit space for over 38 years. I worked in the nonprofit every day for over 30 years. I was the executive director. I was the fundraiser. I was the grant writer. I've worked in every single position within the business realm of the nonprofit. None of those organizations were mine. It was my job. And then it became my job to help 1,000 organizations, both nationally and internationally, put together systems and tools to generate revenue for those nonprofits, the leaders of those nonprofits. So I help nonprofits raise money. I help nonprofits understand where funding comes from. And I help nonprofits put together systems and tools to raise money. The biggest part of your system, the biggest tool that you have to raise money is the ability to articulate, communicate through marketing, through branding, through introduction, right? What you do and why what you do is important to the people who are not in it. Your donors, your funders, your supporters, your contributors are not in your program. So your tool, your voice, your ability to articulate, to clarify to them why through their support for something that they're not in is a benefit to them, right? Knowing how to connect with your ideal donors. Who are your ideal donors? Those who are connected to, those who are concerned about, those who have experience in or interest in the problem that you're solving. Those are your ideal donors. And so you're speaking to them. You are demonstrating to them. You are bringing clarity to them. And the more clear you are about the problem that you're solving, the more clear you are about how your organization is the solution to that problem, the more confident they are to give you their funding. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So it all starts with what's the problem and how do we solve it? The next thing is how much does that cost? How much does it cost to solve the problem, right? We have the program activities. That's where the expense is, right? All the activities. We need materials. We need supplies. We need staff. We need a building. All of the materials needed to do the activities of the program is where the expense is. But what is the return on that investment? The result, right? That at the end of all of these activities, this is the result. Problem solved. At the end of our program activities, this is what the people look like. Excuse me. This is what they look like when they leave our programs. And that's what your donors and your funders are funding. They're not funding the activities, they're funding the result. They're interested in investing in the result of what you do. All right? I hope I'm clear. I hope I'm clear. I want to say thank you all so very much for your time. Thank you for your attention. If there is a subject matter that you would like for me to address, please put it in the comments and I'll be happy to come back and address them. I have lots of videos on this channel. I've had my YouTube here for a while and I am now going to be coming live here because I really want to engage with you. I want to answer your questions. I want to bring some clarity. I want to bring some instructions. I want you all to be inspired that money is not your problem, that you have access to the resources needed when you are able to articulate your result and your impact. For those of you that would like to know more about the nonprofit space, if you are looking to start your nonprofit and you're looking for a tool or something that is going to help you, this nonprofit startup guide is going to be beneficial. For those of you that are new to me, I've written several books. This is not my first. This is actually about my seventh or eighth. This is my first book. My first book is my guide to to grant writing success is my first book. My second book is Guide to Fundraising Success. My third book is Nonprofit Startup to Sustainability. My fourth book is Blacks and Nonprofits, the Grant Writing Edition. My fifth book is on fundraising and accountability, how to generate revenue for your nonprofit every day of the week, every day of the month, right? For ongoing revenue. So as a nonprofit expert, I provide tools and resources to really help take your organization to the next level so that you have in your hand not just the what to do, but how do you start doing it? Not just what to do, but what is the plan and the strategy to accomplish it, right? You've got to know how, the how to. And so that's what I do. I try to provide for you the how to do, the what to do, and the when to do, so that you have the resources to do what it is that your organization is purposed to do. All right. Thank you for your time. If you guys would like the nonprofit startup guide, the guide by itself is only $50. Okay. It is 52 pages. It is a PDF and it covers everything imaginable. I think in one of my videos down on my timeline, there is an explanation of the nonprofit startup guide, everything that's in it. But it has everything from what is the definition of a nonprofit all the way down to how to put together your budget, your fundraising plan, how do you interview board members, how do you find board members, how do you find donors, how do you get the second gift, how do you put together your fundraising plan, how to put together a strategic plan, how to put together your budget, your direct costs, every single thing that you need to know about the nonprofit is in this guide. It's the only one of its kind out on the market where it talks about the entirety of the nonprofit. All right. Um, the other thing that I have is this with a video. It comes with a video that's about 2 hours long, and it talks to you about your nonprofit readiness. Are you ready to file the paperwork? How do you know if you're ready to file the paperwork to start your nonprofit? When are you ready? You're ready to start your nonprofit when you're clear about your mission. You're ready to start your nonprofit when you're clear about the problem that you're solving. You're ready to start your nonprofit when you know how much it costs to do the work. You're ready to start your nonprofit when you're able to speak about and clarify the importance of these three things to the people who are not in it. Because if you are not clear about those three things, you will be funding this thing by yourself. Okay? And that's not how it's set up. All right? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your likes. Thank you so very much. Again, I want to say I'm excited about coming over here on YouTube more frequently. If you have enjoyed this live or if there is some value that I've given to you, please like and please subscribe. Turn on your notifications so that when I come back tomorrow, you will be notified. Also, if there is something that you all would like for me to cover or to speak about as it relates to your nonprofit, please put it in the comments and I'll be happy to address that. If you're interested in how to get the nonprofit startup guide, I will leave it in the description of how you can get your hands on the guide, and it will be emailed to you. Also, and lastly, as a church announcement, I am doing a 10-day fundraising challenge where I will be walking with you over 10 days of how to put together your fundraising plan. We're going to be talking about how do you articulate your mission? How do you introduce what you do? How do you find your ideal donors? And what do you say to them? We're going to be talking about how to put together your fundraising campaigns and how to market those campaigns, how to make the ask, and how to generate the money that you need from multiple places and spaces, right? You have 8 streams of revenue, 8 streams of revenue. We're going to be talking about in this challenge, how do you diversify your funding stream? Every business has multiple streams of revenue. Every business has multiple streams of revenue, right? You as a nonprofit business have 8. All right. So in the fundraising challenge, we're going to be talking about how you diversify your funding stream so that you have the money and the resources coming in to operate. All right. I'll be putting all that information in the description. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for your follows. And thank you so very much for your interest in this subject. My name is Jennifer Yarbrough. I am your nonprofit expert, over 38 years of experience. I am a professional fundraiser. I am a grant writer. I am a nonprofit strategist. I build fundable and fully funded nonprofits. That's been my job, and now that is my business. And I am happy to be able to share some of that experience and expertise with you here on YouTube. All right. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. And I will leave everything in the comments. And again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to put them down in the comments and I'll be sure to address them. All right. Thank you guys so very much. I'll see you later.